Alright fellas, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at hot chicks that were accused of killing people. Yes, you have read that title correctly. I don't think much more needs to be said than that because, you know, hot chicks that are crazy and psycho, I mean, sign me right up, right? Who's not interested in that? So make sure you are subscribed if you're brand new around here and turn on the bell notifications, blah, 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 so you can be a part of the buzz every single time a new awesome, amazing video such as this goes live. And before we start taking a look at these beautiful female killers, I guess I should just say this. I don't really think I have to say this. I think it really goes without saying, but I do not condone the behaviors of these women in any way, shape, and form. Just trying to stay good with the YouTube rules, not violate any community guidelines here. And also, just as a second disclaimer, just to be safe, these are women that were accused of murder, not necessarily convicted of murder. So just keep that in the back of your mind. We're not slandering anybody's name here. We're just reading information that's readily available to read on the internet. And yeah, let's get right into this here. This will not be a top 5 or top 10 list, so that means we're going in no particular order. You know, it's kind of hard to rate these women because there's only a few pictures available of them. So you guys better not forget to let me know down in the comments below who's your number one female killer, right? Of all these ladies, which one is the hottest one, hot enough to let them kill you? Because that is the ultimate compliment, right? It's pretty much the highest honor that you could be awarded on this topic. So first up on the list here, we have Amanda Knox. Foxy, Knoxy, Knox the Fox. This one was actually a pretty famous case. I remember hearing about this when it was going on. It happened in 2007. Amanda Knox was a nice American girl that killed her roommate when she was studying abroad in Italy. The victim was also another exchange student that happened to be roommates with her. The other girl was British. And get this is the best part of all this, right? The reason that Amanda Knox killed this other girl was because the other girl refused to have a gangbang with Amanda Knox and 2 other random Italian guys that she brought back to their apartment. What? Like, what? That is crazy, dude. That is absolutely insane. So she went out, picked up 2 random guys and said, hey, want to come back to my apartment and gangbang me and my roommate? Meanwhile, these other guys are probably like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing. This can't even be real, right? Pinch me, I'm dreaming. They get back there and then the girl refuses to do that activity with them. So instead of just being like a normal person and, you know, going and getting gangbanged on your own, she went ahead and slit her roommate's throat. That's basically what happened. She was sentenced to 26 years in prison, but got out after only 3. How's that for living on recruit difficulty, man? Anyway, she is out of prison now, and hopefully she's learned her lesson and won't go around killing any more people who refuse to have gangbangs with her. Next up on the list is Jodi Arias, and man, I remember this one very, very clearly. This wasn't even that long ago. This was back in 2013. Look at this woman, man. You could just tell she's psycho. Like, when a girl wears these types of glasses right here, you know she's just batshit crazy. So Jodi Arias killed her boyfriend Travis Alexander on June 4th, 2008, although the trial didn't really become a high-profile case until in the later mid-2010s. She claimed it was self-defense from his abuse, and as a result, she inflicted 29 stab wounds, a slit throat, and a gunshot wound to the head to the victim. Now, I'm sorry, but man, if you're killing somebody in self-defense and you're like that freaked out about it, wouldn't you just stop after the guy stopped moving? The autopsy revealed that the gunshot was inflicted after the stabbing. So she stabbed the dude 29 times, then slit his throat, then shot him in the head. Like, good God, man, when is enough enough? The guy is obviously dead, okay? You don't get to mutilate his corpse like that. That's just disrespectful. So she claims she did it in self-defense, although there is quite a bit of gray area to be determined there, and her story didn't exactly add up. Long story short, she ended up getting life in jail without the possibility of parole. And I just thought I'd add in here that it has been reported that she has had many male visitors visit her in prison, a bunch of them ex-boyfriends. Maybe they're jealous, I don't know what happened. But not only that, she's also apparently getting married now from a guy that she met well in prison. So I don't know how that one's supposed to work out, but hey, you learn something new every day. Up next on the list, meet 20-year-old Megan Martsin. This one is a tough one. This one actually makes me sick because the victim was a baby, an 18-month-old baby. You know, maybe you can make the case that some of these other victims here might have deserved it. Maybe you can make that case. Not even totally, but maybe. movie. But a baby, I mean, come on, dude. There's absolutely no justification for this whatsoever. So this one's a little more chilling than the previous one so far. This lunatic was babysitting an 18-month-old baby in February of 2009, and while babysitting for her, the toddler mysteriously died of blunt force trauma to the head and body, and for whatever reason, it took several months for it to be linked back to her. I don't know why, but you get the idea. Long story short, probably got mad at it because it wouldn't stop crying, God knows what, and beat it, which is just, it's sick, man. It's just actually really, really disturbing. Something that made this case stand out even more to me is that when she was arrested and put in jail, she was actually pregnant, and while awaiting trial and all that stuff, she gave birth to a baby of her own, and she was allowed to keep it. So you're accused of killing a child by blunt force trauma to the head and beating it, yet you have a baby of your own and you're allowed to keep it? I mean, I know the rule here is innocent until proven guilty, but come on, don't you think the writing's on the wall with that one? Don't you think that's a little bit of a big risk to be taking, considering the circumstances? I don't know, man. As if that wasn't bad enough, what ended up happening in this case is that she was found somehow not guilty. Apparently, this monster lied in court and said that the kid fell down the stairs or something like that, and for some reason, one of the jurors believed her, so she ended up getting off with this one. And another story that just happened to come up while I was Googling this girl was that in 2013, she was arrested again for a DUI, so there's a little bit of a where are they now for you. You know, she sounds like she's just on a great path in life, but she's an absolute monster. Let's move on here to another adult killer, because the kid ones are just, they're tough, man. I don't like reading about these. So anyway, next up on the list, we have good old Darlene Gentry. Nice, good old Southern beauty queen, prom queen. I mean, look at this girl, dude. She was hot, man. I mean, holy cow. How could this woman go ahead and kill somebody? Let's read about this right now. Darlene Gentry was just your typical everyday Southern girl. She was married, she had a husband, she had a job, she had 3 kids, just living a totally normal life until one day when she decided to shoot her husband in the head for insurance money. So when she did this, she thought she was being real slick, right? This is an example of good justice right here. So she made a frantic call to 911 and basically made up a lie saying how she woke up in the morning and she just found her husband on the ground gurgling blood, seemingly as if he got shot in the head. On the camera footage, when the cops showed up to her house, you could clearly hear one of them just say to the other, "I think she did it." Reason being was because Darlene Gentry was actually a registered nurse and there was no sign whatsoever that she attempted to help her husband. She had no blood on her hands, there was no smearing of his body, she didn't try to move him. So pretty much she's a really bad liar and got caught lying about it. I mean, what a monster, man. You have 3 kids and you go and shoot their dad in the head because you want some insurance, but that's just crazy. What kind of people are these, man? We gotta start having sterilization happen because we can't have people like this bringing other kids into the world. Anyway, this was a good ending here. She got 60 years in prison, and as of today, she still tries to maintain her innocence, but in November of 2017, an appellate court in the state of Texas denied her request for a new trial and ruled that her murder conviction would still stand, so that's awesome. She won't be eligible for parole until 2037, so there you go. You won't be so hot then, will ya? And finally, last on the list, if you live in the United States, you probably already know who this is gonna be. The one, the only infamous Casey Anthony. This lunatic. You know, before we even start, can anybody take a wild guess where this one's from? Yep, okay, yep, you got it. It's Florida. She was the female version of Florida Man before Florida Man was even a thing. She was a real pioneer in that regard. So I think Casey Anthony is the worst person on this entire list because we've had people accused of killing adults, we've had people accused of killing other people's kids, but Casey Anthony was accused of killing her own daughter, and pretty much by all counts, except the one that happened in the courtroom, it's almost universally agreed that she was responsible and she was guilty of it. Her 3-year-old daughter went missing in 2008, and Casey Anthony gave a number of false statements to police, which made them really suspicious of her. She also didn't report the missing kid for months after she had gone, quote, missing. And basically her story caved in on itself, although she somehow got away because the court system is crazy here in the US, man. Anyway, some details behind the, quote, motive here. Casey Anthony was a big partier. She liked to go out and get fucked up and, you know, go dancing, clubbing, and all that stuff. And she accidentally had a baby, which was interfering with her life of partying. And what she allegedly did as a result of that was go ahead and dismember her, 3-year-old daughter. Jesus Christ, it's so messed up. I can't even say say it out loud, man. Did whatever to the kid. You know, the kid's gone. We don't have to go into full detail here. She's a monster. She's obviously a monster, and she famously got off the hook. She was found not guilty of this crime by some miracle. Couldn't tell you how, but she is probably the most famous person on this list, and she's still out there walking around free to this day. Fun fact, she was actually in the news again recently, about a couple of weeks back. She was giving some statement to some organization somewhere, I can't remember where, but she said, "I feel like I want to have another baby because I think my clock is ticking." And with that, we're just gonna wrap up the video right there, because I'm not even gonna start going down the rabbit hole of the irony of that statement right there. But anyway, fellas, those are 5 hot chicks that have been accused and or convicted of murder. Let's take one final look at everybody here and get our thoughts together so we can pick who is the hottest female killer or accused killer. Who are you taking home if you could take your pick? Which one is hot enough that you would actually let them kill you? Let me know down in the comments below and we'll get a conversation going. And if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more awesome, amazing content just like this. Follow me on Twitter, link is down below, and I will see you dudes in the next video. Love you, bye.